Good afternoon. It is Monday, October 31st, 2022. How's everyone doing out there today? Uh, what can I say? You know, going into yesterday, what happened yesterday was exactly what I was afraid of, and it happened. Number one, we once again had to kiss the feet of the New England Patriots. Number two, there's no worse feeling in the season than losing to the New England Patriots. Number three, anytime the Jets are at least relevant and have to face the New England Patriots, things turn from the worse every time they lose. And it's happened a number of times whenever they play them early in the season and lose. So here we go yesterday. The Jets coming in at 5-2 yesterday. You know, everyone's revved up. It's the most important game they've played in a long time, as October is turning into November and the Jets are actually relevant. And then they go out there and they fail. And they fail a game that they probably still, despite every mistake possible from the pretty boy quarterback, could have won the game. The pretty boy went through 3 interceptions yesterday, 2 of which could have completely been avoided if it wasn't so boneheaded. You know, one of them throwing right into Devin McCourty, who was only 10 yards away, and he still throws the interception. What was that? The other question is, was Devin McCourty in bounds? But even if he wasn't, it's the Patriots, and you know they get all the calls anyway. And then the other interception that was so ill-timed and stupid was the one where there's nothing but white jerseys around. I don't know who he was trying to throw to, maybe he was Conklin. Everything else, you see white jerseys everywhere. So another bonehead, it's just get out of bounds or throw it away. That's all you need to do to preserve the drive. And you know what New England did? They turned these things into points. Now, credit the Jets defense, because I think they did everything they could to keep New England, to keep the Jets in this game. They only gave up the 1 touchdown there to open the second half. But, at that point, New England took the game over. They had all the confidence in the world. Yet, the Jets still had the chance. They needed to go toe-to-toe. After New England took a 13-10 lead to open that third quarter, the Jets were driving to match it, getting in the plus territory, and a field goal goes left. Greg Zuerlein missed a field goal, and hadn't missed one since the Baltimore game to open the year. And after that, the Patriots were in the process of scoring 19 straight points. The Jets were ahead 10-3 in the second quarter, and probably, aside from Zach and the 3 bonehead interceptions that he threw, the biggest mistake of the game, John Franklin Myers, you and your 4-year extension. And we've seen this before, whether it was with JFM, whether it was with Carl Lawson in the Pittsburgh game, whether it was whatever. This one was probably the most damning. Mac Jones, who by the way was not that good yesterday, 194 yards. He's not that good of a quarterback. I'm sorry. Throws a bullet and then Michael Carter, the second, picks it off, takes it 84 yards to the house. Oh wait, there's a flag. Personal foul, roughing the passer. Negated everything. And instead of being up 17-3 at halftime and in firm control of the game, New England gets points out of it with a field goal, and it's 10-6 at halftime. That play left New England going to the locker room probably feeling really good about themselves. If that could have been deflating enough, I don't know what is. But, those were the key plays yesterday, and Zach and the interceptions. The other big key play was the touchdown that the Jets scored late to make it the final score of 22-17. They needed to get to the end zone before the 2-minute warning. Saleh had burned all the timeouts with just under 4 minutes left in the game, and They had nothing by the 2-minute warning. So the Jets had to score, so at least they have one free timeout, quote unquote, to stop the clock. And unfortunately, they scored the touchdown with under 2 minutes left, which meant the onside kick, which meant, I think even if they had a timeout left, they probably would have attempted it anyway. Maybe not, I don't know. But, you knew it was not going to repeat Cleveland. You know this. So instead of being 6-2, pushing the Patriots away, and having a first-place showdown with the Bills next week, the Jets are 5-3, tied with Miami. They own the Jets own the tiebreaker. And instead, you're going in, you're going to be 5-4 going into your bye week. And then after the bye week, let's get real, okay? After the bye week, it starts to wonder, who are the Jets going to beat? It starts to make you wonder. Throughout the month of October, during this 4-game winning streak, Breece Hall was winning the game. The run game was winning these games. Zach had one good game, and that was the Steelers game, and he stole that. But outside of that, the defense and the running game have been the key factors, especially against Green Bay and Denver, who both a couple of top defenses, especially against the pass. But all else, Zach Wilson, and by the way, he threw for 355 yards yesterday. 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. But now it makes you something. You have the Bills, forget it. We're not beating the Bills next week. So you're looking at 5-4 at the bye. You come out of the bye, you're facing that same Patriot team, and let's face it, you should have beat. Now you're going to their house, and at least, the positive side is you're undefeated on the road. You've won your first 4 road games. Now what's left? After the Patriots, you have the Bears. The Bears aren't exactly, a yawn anymore after what they did to New England. Yeah, I would be very careful about that. The Bears are no walk in the park anymore. So I'd be scared of them. And then you've got Minnesota, first place team. You're in Buffalo the following week. Super Bowl contender. And then you have Detroit. Detroit better be an easy win. And then you have Jacksonville. How's Trevor Lawrence doing over there? And we wanted to tank for Trevor. Hopefully those are 2 easy wins. And then Seattle. Geno Smith, the guy that was once ours. Remember him? First place in the NFC West. And they took it to the Giants yesterday. The Giants, who were 6-1 going in yesterday, and they took it to them yesterday. And then Miami, what are they if Tua's there this time? I mean, are the Jets for real? I mean, I expected them to at least make the playoffs. The way they were going, I expected them to at least get into the playoffs. Maybe a first round exit, and then at least we're making strides. Now it looks like things are ready to just spin out of control once more. And you can point to yesterday. You can point it to yesterday. Because that was a game to win yesterday. 6-2 versus 5-3 right now. But a loss like this is just deflating. It's a deflating loss. And given already the injuries we had, we could have overcome them. We overcame them last week in Denver. But the Patriots, the Patriots were to be had yesterday. And it's just deflating how they couldn't do it. They had a chance to really put a stranglehold on everything. Before halftime, and who knows what happens. Like I said, the defense has given them a chance to win most of the games. The Baltimore game and the Cincinnati game notwithstanding, the defense has been there for everything else. And, man, it just... And you just look at Bill Belichick and realize, this guy really made a deal with the devil. I look at him, and he just seriously made a deal with the devil. $1 million and everything. Walked out on us to go coach that team up north. And then what happens? Super Bowl after Super Bowl, and it makes me sick. Only the Jets can go through this. Could go through this, the agony that they go through. Every year this happens. And just when you think they're finally taking that jump, that will finally mean this team is for real, I listen to Joe Benigno, WFAN, back then. He is your example of a Jet fan that just, and he may be right when he said if the Jets lost this game yesterday, it's going to be a 3 steps backwards loss. And of course, things like that would happen, to the key components of our team getting injured. 2 are out for the year. And guys are eligible to come off IR. The trade deadline is 4 p.m. tomorrow. Might be time to, there's rumor about getting a stud offensive tackle to replace Vera Tucker's loss. We got to get something going. And another thing, New England shut the run game down yesterday. Michael Carter, the new guy James Robinson, they had nothing. And they just, and Zach just played scared. The pretty boy. He played scared. No ifs, ands, or buts. And it's just deflating. And I don't know what more you can say. The New England Patriots are not that good. I feel like on paper the Jets are better than the New England Patriots. They are. They had some components out themselves yesterday. But it's Bill Belichick. They shot themselves in the foot yesterday, and that is why they are 5-3 and not 6-2. That is why. It was their chance to elevate themselves to the next level, and they failed. Big time. And next week against Buffalo is going to be ugly. I'm sorry. Sauce Gardner could be on Stephon Diggs only once. The bottom line is, Josh Allen. That's the big test for our run defense, Quinn and Williams. All these guys got to stop the run. Be sure you don't do anything boneheaded, John Franklin Myers, Carl Lawson. Everyone else on the D-line. I love our defensive line. They're great. But boneheaded mistakes, at critical times. And this is twice they've done it before halftime. JFM's hit did look a little late. It was borderline. But the referee's explaining to Robert Saleh was Mac Jones was hit too hard. Well, what do you want him to do? Guys in full stride trying to hit the quarterback. What do you want him to do? Now, God forbid if it was Zach Wilson, against the Patriots. The Patriots did this. They'd let it go. So, but anyway. That is basically my piece for this week. There's really not much more to say, because outside all those key components, there really wasn't much more to say about the game, is that Nick Folk was nailing his field goals. And the touchdown that they scored, New England was inefficient on 4th downs all throughout the year. But of course, it came against the Jets, and they score a touchdown that gives them the lead once and for all. Goes to show you. Anyway, that being said, I'm peacing out for now. I'll talk to you probably after another butt kicking next week, and then we have to sit on it for 2 weeks after that. Peace.